Hi guys, my name is Amit and welcome back to my channel by Technologies. So guys, today we'll discuss about a very interesting topic, outlier detection. And this outlier detection technique is widely used while we performing the statistical analysis on the data set, right? So today we'll learn what is outliers, why we need to detect outliers from the data set, what are the techniques, methods used for detecting the outliers. So let's start with the definition of the outliers, the concept of the outliers. So basically outlier is a data point that is significantly different from other observations. Let's try to map it on XY plane. So this is the X and this side the Y. And let's suppose we have a data set of person feature where height in inch and weight in kg is given, right? Here we have the 45 inch, 50 kg, 60, let's suppose the 50 inch or 55 kg, 60 inch, 62 kg, uh, 65 inch, 70 kg, and so on. And why we plot it on XY plane? So it will look like this, right? This. Till now, everything is normal, right? We have the data set. We uh, did this scatter plot, and the points are looking like this on XY plane. Now, and we can clearly see that it's look like a positive correlation regression between height and weight, right? So, what happened if the person having the 60-inch height with the weight 150 kg? So, is it possible? No, practically not possible, right? The person with 60 inch means 5 feet height, and the person having 150 kg weight, it's really not possible, right? It might be the cause of human being error, might be some person just uh, add this value on the Excel sheet or CSV file, and by mistake he put from some uh, very high value in weight column for 60-inch person, right? So if you see this point here on XY plane, so it will look like here, right? So we can say that this is an outlier, and we can clearly catch it using the scatter plot, right? So yes, so scatter plot is one of the technique to detect the outlier as well, right? Now, this is the data set we aware about. What's happened if you have given an unseen data set? You don't have the idea about the data set. For example, you have given a medical data set where you have to analyze, we have to do some statistical analysis. You have to build a machine learning model where your model should classify whether a person is suffering from cancer or not, right? So because we are from engineering background, we don't have the knowledge of medical terms, right? So in fact the features of the medical we are really very difficult to understand. So in that case, what will we do? So don't we shouldn't worry about this, because we have a very fantastic technique called as statistical tactics, right? Now we can do everything with the data using the statistical technique, right? If you have a domain knowledge, it's very good. If you don't have the domain knowledge, doesn't mean that you can't perform the statistical analysis. So rather than domain knowledge, you should have very good understanding of the statistical knowledge, right? So what will it do? At first level, we can plot these values on xy plane, and we can clearly see using the scatter plot that some points are very far away from other observation. Here the points are very close to each other, but these points are very far away. So we can clearly see that, oh, these points are outliers. Remove these outliers. Why should we remove the outliers? I will come in a while. Now let's discuss about the techniques for detection of the outliers. So in the market, lots of techniques used for detecting the outlier, but there are two techniques widely used. One is using Z score, and second one is IQR technique called interquartile range. So guys, in this video lecture, I will just explain the concept of Z-score and IQR, and in next video lecture we will see the practical calculation, statistical calculation of on some very short data set. So basically I will create three videos on this outlier detection. One is for concept clearance, second one is for statistical calculation, and third one is for practical implementation using Python language, right? So in third video we will uh, use some widely used data set in the market, like we can download the data from Kaggle or any other data sources, right? And we will see some practical implementation of this z-score and IQR to detect the outliers, right? So let's discuss about this concept of this both statistical techniques to detect the outliers. So hope you understand, or now you are aware of the outlier. What is outlier, right? Now the J discourse says that the formula of Z calculating Z score is x minus mu divided by standard deviation, right? Now what does this formula is, right? So guys, once again I will recommend you, if you don't have the knowledge about the standard deviation, covariance, variance, correlation, so I will highly recommend you to visit my previous video where I explained about this variance, standard deviation, correlations concepts, right? So now Z score, why you use the Z score? So before going to this, uh, we have the data set and assume that it's normally distributed, right? So in normal distribution, it's look like the bell curve shape where mean, median, mode is equal to 0, right? And the standard deviation is 1. So here the standard deviation 1, here standard deviation 2, let's suppose standard deviation 3. Here we can say it's the standard deviation -1, -2, -3. So see, why I plotted this? We assume that our data is normally distributed. If our data is not normally distributed, we can use z-score. So we change the every value of x using this z-score, and so this z-score helpful to convert your data into the normalized form, standard normalized form, we can say, right? So basically we convert the data into the z value, and here the standard deviation from -1 to 1 covers 68% of the data set. This two things covers 95% of the data set, and the standard deviation 3 covers 99.7% of the data set, right? So as we know that the nature of the normally distributed data set is maximum points are around the mean, right? So we'll see that the maximum points are gathered around the mean value, right? Now, so we can say that if the value lies in this region, would be the outliers, right? The values lies in this region beyond this standard deviation 3 would be the outliers, right? So this is not defined that only we put the threshold 3 only. This is up to you. You have to do some statistical analysis, you have to analyze the data, and you can just define your threshold depend on the data values, right? We can see that what is the minimum value after converting into the z, what is the maximum value, right? And what should we put the threshold, right? So this is how we detect the outliers. Again, I will repeat. uh, we do convert our data into the normal distribution. For doing this, we just um, calculate the z score of every point, right? And then we our data would be look like the normally distributed, and we define the threshold, basically 3. And if the g score is greater than 3, we can say that it's outlier, or z score is less than 3, minus 3, we can say it's outliers. So basically we'll find all these values, those having the g score values greater than 3 and g score values less than 3, and remove it from the data set, right? Again, why we remove it, I will come in a while. This is the first method. Let's discuss the second method. So second method is IQR, interquartile range. So in this interquartile range, we define quartiles like Q1, Q2 and Q3, three quartiles, and calculate the IQR value from detecting Q3 minus Q1. This is the IQR value. Don't worry, I will explain each and everything. What is Q1, what is Q2, what is Q3. First, it's a big picture. How we calculate it, or how we detect the outliers using the interquartile range method. Right. Now, what we do, we define the lower bound. Sorry. Lower bound and upper bound. How we define the lower bound? For the lower bound, we subtract the IQR value calculated from here into 1.5. This would be your lower bound. And upper bound is Q3 plus IQR value into 1.5. So this will be upper bound. So suppose this is the upper and lower bound, and suppose we have the lower bound is minus 10, upper bound is plus 10. It means the data should be lies between this upper and lower and upper bound. If the data below this lower bound, it means that data point would be the outlier. If the data above this uh, upper bound, it means that data or data point would be the outlier, right? Now again we require to calculate Q1, Q2, Q3. Then IQR is equal to Q3 minus Q1, lower bound and upper bound, then we have to found. So how we calculated the lower bound? Q1 minus IQR into 1.5 and Q3 plus IQR into 1.5 would be the upper bound. Now what is Q1, Q2, Q3? So guys, you heard about the term percentile. You often hear this term in result, academic result or competitive uh, results, right? Uh, so often you often hear in CAT percentile, MAT percentile, Z percentile. So what I believe you are very familiar with this terms percentile, right? If you don't know the percentile, how to calculate the percentile, what is in fact what is percentile, let's discuss briefly about this. It's much important. So basically, what is percentile, guys? So suppose in an exam you got 95 percentile marks. So 95 percentile marks doesn't mean that you got 95 marks out of 100, right? It means 95% students are below your marks, right? Suppose you got 55 marks out of 100, right? And after calculating percentile, it's 95, right? It's not percentile, 95 percentile. It means 95% students got below 55 marks, right? So this is the concept of the percentile. Now how we calculate the percentile? It's very easy. Let's suppose in stat paper there are total 10 students, and the student got marks like 30, 25, 40, 50, 45, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 55, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So calculating the percentile, first we need to arrange it into the ascending order. So now we have 25, 30, is there any 35? No. 40, 45, then 50, 55, 60. So guys, we put here 25 is lower and 60 is upper. We can say that this is the 0 percentile. Even in fact he found 25%, 25 marks, but we'll define it as a 0 percentile because 0% people or 0% students marks below to this 25 marks, right? We can say that here 60 would be the highest, so it would be the 100 percentile, right? Now the middle point would be the 50 percentile, right? So they will calculate the middle point. Middle point means median, right? So again, if you don't know about the mean, median, mode, it's a very basic statistical concept. So I will recommend you to go to the internet, or in fact, if you wish, I will just upload for a small video where I will describe about the mean, median, mode kinds of things, right? Now, this would be the 0 percentile, this would be the 100 percentile. The middle point would be, it means median. Median means middle point. Middle point would be the 50 percentile. It's simple, right? So what will we do? We will rank these values. Rank in ascending order, right? So this is one rank, second, third, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not the rank in descending, it's in ascending order. Don't be confused. 25% marks never be the first rank, right? It's the last. It's arranged in the ascending order, that's right. So now, so which one is the middle point? 4 is the middle point, right? Because there are 3 points here, 3 points there. So 50 percentile is the 45 marks. 45 marks denote to 50 percentile, right? So what's happened if the numbers are even? Because the numbers are odd. So in odd number, we can easily get the median, like n plus 1 by 2. This is the formula for getting the median point. It's not the value, but it's denoting the rank. So we have total 7. So 7 plus 1 is by 2 is equal to 8. 7 plus 1 by 2 is equal to 8, right? Now, sorry, 8 by 2 is equal to 4. Fourth rank is this, 45 per 2. 45 marks. It means the person with 45 marks got that 50 percentile, right? Now calculate the 25 percentile. So basically Q1, Q2, Q3 are nothing but this is 25 percentile. This is the quarter 1. This is 50 percentile. This is quarter 2. And this is 75 percentile called as a quarter 3, right? So in this case 25, 30, 40, 50. 30 would be the, sorry, 45 would be the quarter 2 because 45 marks got the 50 percentile, right? Now 25% marks. So 25% would be here, the middle of these three, right? So this would be 30. 30 would be the 25% marks. It means 30. And here's 55 would be the 75% marks. Now we got the value of 30, 40, 45, 50 in this according to this data set. And so IQR would be Q3 minus Q1 is equal to 55 minus 30 is equal to 25. So we got the value IQR is equal to 25. Now calculate the lower and upper bound. So here the lower bound would be 25 minus IQR is 25 into 1.5 and upper bound would be what is the value for 55? 55 into 25 into 1.5, right? So this would be, again check, 37.5. So 25 minus 37.5, this is for 55 plus 37.5. This would be calculated as minus 37.5, 25.05, minus 12.5 is the lower bound and upper bound would be 92.5. So if the data lies between minus 12.5 to 92.5, it means there is no outliers. In this case, our data doesn't have any outliers, right? So now again I will jump to this is the example how to calculate the outliers using the IQR. In the next video we will see detail about the G score and IQR calculation, right? So again I would like to focus on median points. So these are the odd numbers, right? It means the n is equal to 7, this is odd. So for odd we easily got the median point is as a n by 2 rank, n plus 1 is equal to n plus 1 by 2, sorry. So this is the 7 plus 1 by 2 is equal to 4. What happened if we have the value even? So in that case we have the formula n plus 1 by 2, right? No, 6 by 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now and n by 2 plus 1. So we will calculate 2 points. So suppose if you have 8 points instead of 7. So now we have the 8 by 2, 8 by 2 plus 1. So this is 4, 5. So now the value on 4. So for example we have the same values 25, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60 and one more value 65. Now the position 4 having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Position 4 having 45. So we'll see the 45 plus position 5 having 50. The 45 plus 50 divided by 2 would be your median point. So how we calculate the median point? And median point would be the point where so in this example it's the 45 and 50, 95 by 2. It means 47.5 would be your median point. It means the uh, person having 47.5 marks would be under the 50 percentile, right? So this is the calculation how we calculate the median point. Now I will I would like to share one equation where directly we can find the rank. Rank is equal to, sorry, directly on the percentile. So rank is equal to percentile divided by 100 into number plus 1, right? Number plus 1. So here in this example, let's calculate the 25 percentile and we should get the 30 marks using this formula. So I'm referring it here. Rank is equal to percentile. Let's suppose I require 25 percentile. So 25 divided by 100 into 7 plus 1 is 4. This will 2. So the rank is equal to 2. It means the rank 2 would define 25 percentile marks. So rank 2 here is 30. So you can clearly see. So using this equation you can calculate any number of the percentile, right? So using this you will get the rank, or based on the rank you can calculate the number, right? Using the, for example, again, if you require the 75 percentile marks in this distribution, so again here we will calculate the rank. So percentile would be the 75 divided by 100 into 7 plus 1 is equal to 8, and you will get the marks 55. I mean you will get the rank 6, where 6 store the 55 marks. So this is how the percentile is calculated, and this is how the IQR is calculated. Again in the next video I will explain how to calculate or how to detect outliers using the IQR and JD score. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. If you like this video, please do subscribe and just hit on the like button if you like this video. Thank you so much.